This is the 2023 Honda Passport. Is it a better option than the fully redesigned 2023 Honda Pilot? Well, we're going to show you what this model has, and you can make that decision for yourself based on information that has been presented. The exterior color on this model is Sonic Gray. It has a black interior, and there is one change for 2023, very similar to what we saw for the 2021 model year with the Honda Ridgeline, and that is the fact that gone is the front-wheel drive option. If you buy a 2023 Honda Passport, it's going to be all-wheel drive no matter the trim level. This is the Elite model we're going to be looking at today, and I'll tell you what, it has a lot going for it. Plenty of power under the hood, comfortable seating, a very spacious interior, and to complement that spacious interior is a very spacious cargo area. While the Passport hasn't been fully redesigned, at least not yet, it still has a very modern, nice look. A little bit of an aggressive look too, thanks to a recent redesign of the front end, or at least a refresh, I should say, that gives it a more squared off look. It's been around now for a couple of years like that, but definitely gives it a nicer, broader stance. As far as the front end goes, we're going to have that nice large grille, the upper grille that's going to have the gloss black finish to it, LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and that blinking effect you see has to do with the shutter speed of my GoPro, in case you're wondering. So anytime you see that on this vehicle, that's not the vehicle itself that's causing that, just in case you were wondering. Also, even though I don't, well, yep, actually I do have them on, the LED fog lights. And then we're going to also have the air curtain right here that allows air to flow through the front end. As you can see, that's going to help improve gas mileage. And like I said earlier, all-wheel drive is what we have. What about tire size? The width is going to be 265. We're going to have a 45 series sidewall, and all of that is going to be wrapped around a 20-inch wheel. The gloss black mirror caps definitely help this model to stand out. It does have the turn signal indicator built in. You will have Honda sensing here, lane keeping assist, road departure mitigation, lane departure, adaptive cruise control. All of that is going to be here. And something that you might be curious about, when you close this, it automatically locks. There is a button on the interior to open that gas door. It's going to be found right here. And you did see that you also have the turn signal indicator built into these power adjustable heated side view mirrors. Well, guess what you also have here? This being the Elite trim level, you're going to find an extra button right here. When you push the button right there, there's what happens. Something that I know a lot of you like, the power folding side view mirrors. We're going to have nice tinted rear windows. Going to have the roof rails up there with the crossbars, so plenty of space up there for additional cargo. If you want to go out riding the trails with your bike, whatever the case is, you can put a lot up there. The body color on the shark fin antenna and the tailgate spoiler right here, or what we often call a rear roof spoiler, finishing things off. Maybe for 2024, if the Passport is redesigned, we'll see Honda tuck this rear window wiper away up here and just clean things up with the rear window. And as you can see, you've got the instructions for how to use this power rear tailgate. It is hands-free. If you want to use the kick function right here, all you have to do is kick your foot right there in that area. You can also swipe your foot across if you want to. I find it easier, honestly, to just swipe my foot across. In fact, we'll do that to close everything here. And there you go. You can see what happens. We'll finish things off here with the LED tail lights, LED lighting everywhere you look. And we're going to have the Passport logo right here, as well as the Elite logo and all-wheel drive dual exhaust tips. Finish everything up on the lower portion of the bumper back down here on the rear. For 2023, the fully redesigned Pilot gets a newer version of the 3.5-liter V6. Not a big difference between the two as far as horsepower and torque numbers here. The new Pilot has 285 horsepower. You only have 5 less here at 280. The torque numbers are the same on both engines at 262. This particular model, however, is mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission compared to the 10 for the new Pilot. And A 19.5 gallon gas tank is what we have, in case you're curious to know how much gas you can put in. And let's talk about gas mileage. Honda says 19 city, 24 highway, 21 combined, and you should use 4.8 gallons of gas out of that 19.5 gallon gas tank for every 100 miles you drive. If you're interested in doing any towing with your Passport, you can tow up to 5,000 pounds. And like I said, you can just swipe your foot across right there if you want to. So let's talk cargo capacity. 50.5 up to 100.7 up to 100.8 cubic feet. And all you have to do to maximize cargo capacity is push that button and push that button. And there you go. You have your maximized cargo capacity. And you do have a little bit of space here on each side as far as just additional little areas. There is a 12-volt power outlet back here. And under the floor is even more storage capacity. So quite a bit. In fact, under the floor beyond this, you can notice you have these little areas right here that you can turn. And what that does for you, I'm probably not going to be able to do this one-handed, although I'm going to try. Yeah, that's going to be kind of hard to do. The spare tire is located underneath that area of the floor down there, in case you were curious. And as we look in through the passenger side door into the back seat area, you're going to find the privacy shades, not only here on the passenger side, but obviously over there on the driver's side as well. A very comfortable armrest, soft touch materials, a couple of different options for places to put bottles and drinks, and then the door bin right here. And then we're gonna hop inside. And one thing that I like here is that, let's see if I can give you a good view here, that you can recline the seats back a little bit if you want to, or at least your rear seat passengers can. Gonna have the little cargo areas, or map pockets as they're often called, right there on the back of the seats. And we'll have the command center here. Rear air conditioning vents, you can control the third zone of climate back here. And these buttons, even though I don't have the ignition on right there, you can't see it come on in action, but those are the controls here and here for the heated seats here in the rear area. And then you have a couple of different options, as you can see, with the USB outlets right there and the power outlet that you can conceal away if you so desire to do so. And then, as if there aren't enough cup holders within the door panels right there, you have a couple more right here. And I like the fact that Honda has designed this the way that they have, because your rear seat passengers can have 2 drinks sitting in here and still use that as an armrest. Now, one thing that is going to be different is going to be the size of the sunroof between the Passport and the Pilot. Tell me what your thoughts are on that. Maybe we'll see a panoramic sunroof when the Pilot, or excuse me, the Passport is redesigned. Right now, this is what you get, the conventional size. And now taking a look in through the passenger side door into the front seat area, pretty much the same thing of what we saw in the rear. A little bit more space with an upper and a lower door bin. You're gonna have a couple of areas right here for bottles or whatever will fit right there. Power adjustable seats for the driver and the passenger. And we'll hop on inside and you'll find quite a bit of gloss black trim that starts on the door and works its way into the interior. Really not a bad place for that to be, because people aren't likely to be touching up there a whole lot. At least I wouldn't think so. So you'll avoid fingerprints that way. Space within the glove box is plentiful. You're also going to find heated and ventilated seats. That's good news. And more connectivity in the way of a 12-volt power outlet and another USB, in addition to the wireless charging right here. And the push-button shifter, something that gets mixed reactions from a lot of people. Some like it, some don't. Cup holders right there. And then we're going to have the armrests that can be folded up and out of the way if necessary. And then space within the center console and even more connectivity options. So quite a bit going on where connectivity is concerned within the interior of the Passport. And then we're going to have the conversation mirror, so you can show your happy eyes or your angry eyes to the kids or adults sitting in the back seat, depending on who's sitting back there. That can be a good thing. Also doubles as a sunglass holder, or, well, I guess it could be a multitasker. You can use it for a lot of things. The vanity mirror is here. My hair is messed up, which I can see now in the vanity mirror, and you can too. The lights are there to help out, and let's see how far back the sun visor will go. I think that's going to do really well for most people. You'd have to sit way back here for the sun to be able to get through. And if the driver is exercising that 280 horsepower under the hood, well, here's the oh crap handle, one at every door for passengers to grab onto. And taking a look in through the driver's side door, there's not a lot here that wasn't on the passenger side. You do have a few more controls for those power windows at all four corners. You can open and close the power tailgate, as well as the button right here to open the locking gas door. Now, one thing that is going to be different here for sure is going to be the two settings for seat memory. Honestly, at the price point of this vehicle, it seems that you should have it on the passenger side as well. I don't think that would be that big of a deal to add that. You can turn off, I wish I could turn off getting tongue twisted. You can turn on or off some of the safety features right here. And if you drop this lever, you can adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. We'll hop inside now and start everything up. Simply push the button right there, pretty easy to deal with. And you can see even some animated graphics there on the instrument cluster. Pretty simple system to use, to learn, all that good stuff. No big deal as far as that goes. And then you can go in. There are a lot of different features and functionality that you can go through if you want to. And as you can see, you have the digital speedometer up there. If you'd like to take advantage of that, you can see your steering wheel mounted controls here. There are the paddle shifters to work your way through that 9-speed automatic transmission. You'll control the headlights, the taillights, and the fog lights right here, as well as the blinkers. Yes, this model does come standard with the blinker option. Can't really say anything sarcastic about the control right here for controlling the front and rear wipers. The one thing that is going to be different here, and again, there's that blinking effect. I told you why that's there earlier in the video. You can see that you have built-in navigation. A lot of you like to know about that. But the thing here is that you do still have a little bit of an older look, what we saw with the previous generation of the Pilot. Now here with the Passport, some might like that more than the updated, redesigned Pilot's look as far as the interior goes. Maybe we'll see this for 2024, see those changes come to the Passport for 2024. But you can see what you have here. Apple CarPlay is there when you pair your phone, if you use an iPhone, and you can see everything else that's here. A pretty simple system to use, not really new, but I like the fact that it's one of the most simplistic in the industry. Here's your dual zone climate control, part of the tri-zone climate control throughout the vehicle. And then, like I said earlier, you have your heated seats. You can see the red right there, or you have the ventilated seats. You can see the blue right there. That's nice to see that such a thing is here. So what is it like to drive this Passport? Well, let's hop out on the road and we'll find out. One more thing I did want to make sure I show before we go out on our test drive is the fact that you do have a rear view camera. There are multiple views to that camera. So depending on what you want to see, well, just make your choice right down here at the bottom of the screen. Okay, here we go on our test drive. And I want to give the best opportunity, the best demonstration, I guess I can say, that I can of road noise. So we're on a pretty rough road here. I'm going to be driving up to 65 miles per hour and just let you listen for a few seconds. Now I realize that it may sound extremely noisy. Keep in mind the condition of this road is terrible. Very rough, very washboarded out. So it's going to be noisy no matter what. So don't let that fool you and make you think that there's a lot of road noise going on here and a lot of wind noise. Plus it's very quiet within the interior. I have the air conditioning fan turned down to low, the radio's not on, I'm not talking to anybody on the phone, and there's no one in the passenger seat to talk to. So it's a little bit more noisy than it likely would be otherwise. So really not too bad in my personal opinion. It just depends on who's behind the wheel and what they think is acceptable and what isn't when it comes to road noise. And a couple of things I didn't mention earlier in the video that are here, although it seems a little strange to talk about these things with it warming up in roughly getting towards mid-May here. The heated windshield, that is here. There are advantages to that a lot of the year, so that's a good thing to have. You also have the heated steering wheel, and for the most part, depending on where you live, for the next few months, that's not going to be necessary, but some of you could be in a place where it is. So you have quite a nice amount of options where that's concerned. The heated steering wheel, the heated seats, the heated windshield, and obviously the ventilated seats, which that is a big benefit in a multitude of ways. What about ride quality? Well, the ride quality is good here. I don't see anything to complain about or haven't experienced anything to complain about. I think the Passport rides well. It handles well. It's a nimble vehicle. It gets around well with a good tight turning radius for its size. And the acceleration is good. You also have multiple driving modes. Didn't talk about that earlier, but you have normal, snow, mud, and sand. You also can go into drive down here with the shifter, and then there's the S. Some people call that sequential mode, but it's ultimately sport mode is what it is. And it just changes the way the engine rises and RPM and how quickly that happens. So, you know, depending on the situation you're in, there's a little something for everyone. One good thing about this, if you do live in a really cold climate, whether it's cold 9 months out of the year or whatever it is, and you get snow, this is a great vehicle for something like that. Its ride height is good for that. You do have the snow mode, and it's all-wheel drive. So quite a few advantages depending on where you live, where that kind of thing is concerned. So overall, I have to give high marks here to the Passport. It'll be very interesting to see what comes in the future when Honda redesigns this model. So tell me what your thoughts are. Is the 2023 Honda Passport a better option than the fully redesigned 2023 Honda Pilot? Tell me what your thoughts are and tell me why you said what you did as far as the way you answered. I have to say a special thanks to my friends here at Holmes Honda for loaning me this Passport for the day, and a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.